and welcome to episode 111 of Explode Your Expert Biz, a show brought to you by gtex.org.uk. I'm your host, the one and only Simone Vincenzi, the Expert Strategist, and this is the podcast for experts who want to become the ultimate authority in their niche while making an impact in the world. Yes! Today I have the pleasure to interview Lenka Lutonska on the energetic selling method. We are all going to talk about sales. I'm really excited about. But before I give you more information in this introduction about what you're going to listen, it's time for the tool of the day. Ta-da-da-dan! Yeah, make my own jingle. I'm pretty sad, I know. I'm here in my office by myself making my own jingle. But the tool of the day is Xero. Xero is an accounting software which I absolutely love. I use it. There is no affiliate link in this one, and I've tested different accounting software to make my business finances easier, and to make sure that I am in control of the financial side of the business. Because remember, if you're not in control of money, money is in control of you. That's a big learnings that I got from one of my mentors. So then it is important to make sure that you and your team are always on top of your accounting. That's why an accounting software like Xero is absolutely great. There are many other accounting softwares. This is the one that I personally use. It's easy to use, it's easy to integrate. You can take payments, setting up recurring bills, set up automated messages. I absolutely love it. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Xero, there is the link here at the bottom of the show notes, and that's where you can find it. Now, back to the episode. Today, as I said, we are talking about the energetic selling method. Ooh, what is it? Very interesting. Lenka, just a bit more about Lenka. She's a business and mindset strategist for women coaches and change makers. She runs NLP coaching accreditation courses, equipping women to adopt world-class coaching skills, and she helps them to scale their business to multiple six figures and beyond with the power of the energetic selling method. Ta-da-da-dan! Yes, the second jingle I'm making myself. I might be pretty sad today. Now, in this episode, we will talk about the unusual way to scale your business to multiple six figures and beyond. How to sell with the energetic selling method. And the one thing that can increase your conversion during your sales calls, seminars, and webinars. Now, if you want to read the interview transcript and get bonus resources, you can visit www.gtex.org.uk/episode 111, and you will find the link here in the show notes, and you can also watch the video of the interview if you prefer to watch the video and see my pretty and Lenka's pretty face. You can connect with Lenka as well here in the show notes. There are all the links for website and Facebook groups, the Facebook page that you can connect with her. Now, before we start with the show, it's time for sharing with you how can you get more value from this show. Now, a lot of people were asking me, how can I sell from the stage? I run more than 800 events, made hundreds of thousands of pounds selling from the stage. And this is something that everyone, every speaker, every expert, every coach should learn. It's a skill that I believe is the ticket to financial freedom. So I decided to put together a very simple, easy to use, fresh checklist, which is called the Ultimate Selling from the Stage Checklist. If you haven't listened, if you haven't downloaded yet, make sure that you download to the Selling from the Stage Checklist right now. There is the link here in the show notes. And also, if you want to connect with Lenka and the other experts that I interview here on this show, and as well as connect with a global community of experts where you can create joint ventures, create meaningful relationships, and as well learn useful skills and attend free exclusive training to help you explode your expert biz, what are you going to do? You're going to join our free Facebook group, which is our private Facebook group. Here on Facebook, you can find it at Explode Your Expert Biz, and very simple. Or you can scroll down in the show notes, and the link is going to be there as well. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, well, what the heck are you doing? It's like, really? You haven't subscribed? That's the only thing you can do for me. You still subscribe and leave me a review. Like, please. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Woohoo! So do it now if you haven't done it. If you've done it, awesome. I love you. Mwah. And also, if you want to reach out to me, you have any question, any suggestion, you want to be a guest on this show, then send me an email at simone@gtex.org.uk. That comes straight into my inbox. Now, without further ado, can I have a drum roll, please? Let's hear it from Lenka Lutonska and the energetic selling method. Wow, that was the third time I did my intro jingle. It's crazy. Energetic selling method with Lenka Lutonska. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Explode Your Expert Biz Show. I'm here today with the one and only Lenka Lutonska. How are you doing, Lenka?
I'm very well, thank you, Simone.
Fantastic, Lenka. Today we are going to be talking about the way you run your business, how were you able to make it so successful? Because I remember, was that from the beginning of Perry 10K, and Katya kept telling me, you need to talk to Lenka, she's doing awesome, she's brilliant at running her business, you guys need to connect. And somehow we touched base, but we didn't manage to connect, and then I came to one of your, well, it was at your latest event that you did in London, and that was magical. It was beautiful. I have to say, it was exquisite. The location, the speakers that were there, the women that you had in the room, perfect.
Thank you, Simone. I must say, I feel truly blessed, truly blessed. So anything I can share with you that will help your gorgeous listeners, let's do it.
Absolutely. And then we're going to talk in particular about something which is very unique, which is the energetic selling method. And I never heard about it. And I'm really excited to dig deep into how this method works, because everything that he's selling, I love selling. So I'm always looking to learn new ways. I'm really going to take every single bit of information I can from you today.
Perfect.
Fantastic. Now, before we get started, can you tell us a bit more about how did you get started? You as an expert in your business, and where did you start? Where do you come from?
Sure. Well, I'm not a newbie as such. I've been in a business for exactly 10 years, just over 10 years. And the way I started, I became really accidental entrepreneur. What I always wanted to do is, call me naive, change the world. I knew I wanted to work with people in some way. I just wasn't sure how. So I studied for years, psychotherapy and counseling and hypnotherapy, was exploring the options, learning as much as I could about the human mind, about how people work. And as a part of that, and I came across NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming, and that truly grabbed my heart, so much so that when I finished the first part of the training, I thought, that's it, forget work. I'm selling my house, I'm selling my car, and I'm going to get myself trained to the highest level, which I did the same year, and to be able to train others in, run accredited coaching and NLP courses. So I finished that, and there I was, with no job, thinking I'm going to change the world. This is how. So I became very much accidental entrepreneur, because very quickly I realized that, okay, having a website and a passion for something and a skill is actually not enough. Where are the clients? So
yeah.
that's how I started. And of course, since then my business grew and evolved. In the process of that, I managed to lose my business altogether at one point, which sent me on another, if you like, spiritual journey, where I had to rediscover my value as a human being, rather than, okay, I have a successful business, I don't have it anymore, so who am I now? From that, it came my business number 2, and online coaching and training business, which I started, it will be now 3 years ago. Exactly. It's coming up to May. It will be 3 years ago. So, and yeah. So nowadays, yes, I am truly blessed because since I decided to go online and got my shit together, if I say gently,
It's like, yeah.
yeah, things started to work, and my business is growing. My clients are doing incredibly well. It's fabulous. So yes, that's how I got started. Out of this, I want to change the world.
So what I want to know is what's so what are the things that you were doing before in your business that didn't work, that you were saying, actually, if I were to go back, I would not do this because maybe it was not working or it was not effective. What were a few things that didn't
Okay,
work?
I tell you, so this is a great question. When I was rebuilding my business, this is number two, and
Yes.
even before I went online, just before I went online, I had a long period of time that I felt like I'm doing all the right things as entrepreneurs should do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I used to attend very many networking events,
Mm-hmm.
and I would seek out speaking opportunities, and I felt like I'm doing all the right things, but things are not working. I would get a client here and there, and just I knew this is nothing. There's so much more in me. And then one day I experienced such an embarrassing moment, and I'm still embarrassed about it when I talk about it, but here it is. So it was almost 2 years after I lost the first business and me trying to rebuild
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the business, right? And at the time, I dropped my kids to school, and on the way back, I was going to get a dinner, at the local Sainsbury supermarket. So I went to cash machine, take a cash out, and I'm looking at my bank balance, £7.30, and I'm looking at it, no way. So here I was now. At this point, I was really years in business. I had a successful business behind me. I was working every day like a bloody nutter, or
Mm-hmm.
that's what I felt. And here I am, not being able to afford a family dinner. And I was so ashamed, so embarrassed. But what I did, immediately I went home and I know something is going to change. And you know what I did? I picked up the phone and for a whole day, I called every bloody networking contact I acquired over the last X amount of months. People I spoke to, people that even vaguely expressed the interest in what I've got to offer.
Mm-hmm.
So by the end of the day, I sold just below £2,000, of my services. So, in other words, this is the moment when I committed. This is
Yes.
the moment when I committed, because before I would tell myself, well, I don't want to follow up. It's if somebody wants to work with me, they'll approach me. I don't want to be pushy or salesy. Yeah, I'll share my expertise, but really sell, like really follow up. No, it wasn't comfortable. So if I had to go back, I would tell myself, woman, get real. If you want to do business properly, you've got to market, you've got to sell. And it's only a small percentage of people that just reach out to you. You've got to give them the little nudge. I call it open the door, give
Mm-hmm.
that invitation. So that's certainly one of the things I would change, because that immediately made a huge difference.
Definitely. I can understand where you're coming from. I think that when we started, we all think, hey, people are going to work with me just because I have a business, and actually, you gotta pick up the phone and call and follow up.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm so passionate about this part that I cannot even start. So I'm glad that you know you had I think as everyone like myself, we had all this moment with realization, I gotta start selling now.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'm not gonna eat. So
Yes.
that's really crucial. And okay, talking about another mistake, is there another mistake that you were doing before while you were rebuilding the business
Mm-hmm.
that you were thinking, I wouldn't, or if not, maybe a mistake, maybe it could be a strategy that you were using and you were saying, I actually wasted time doing that.
Mm-hmm. Couple come to my mind. First, um, which is kind of natural because I was trying to find myself again. So it was a little bit of exploration period, but I wasn't sure where do I put myself. So I tried to, I went to one networking event and talked about I can help you with changing personally. Another networking event, I was talking about training corporates, because in my previous business I had wide experience, right? So it was like I was trying to be everything to everyone, and it never works. So this is why it's easiest way to start business or go through that first curve of infancy period of business into the rapid growth or expansion period is to bloody focus. So find that client that you want to help and solve their one problem that they have.
Yes.
And I didn't do that initially. I really did not. So that, if you like, I could say slowed me down, so that's it's obvious. The bigger one though for me was that I didn't allow myself to be fully me in my business. And what do I mean by that? Because I wanted to be taken seriously, quote unquote. And it was important to me that I came across as professional and knowledgeable. So I would never dare to say anything about spirituality or energy or law of attraction. All the while, I've read hundreds of books on quantum physics and like everythting, because it's my love and passion.
Yeah.
But I would never talk about it. I wouldn't allow myself to include it in my business because, I want to be taken seriously. So I remember I had a little like defining moment, and I was still asking myself, so what's my purpose here? Surely this is not the end of the road. This is just the beginning. So who am I here meant to serve? And then I asked myself, well, and excuse my language, I know sometimes I swear, but if I didn't give a shit what other people think about me, what would I want to do, and how would I do that? And literally in the millisecond, I bang, 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 bang. I knew my branding, I knew my message, and I knew that my way to grow, my way to contribute is to be full me. So I started to talk about, and this was immediately from there, I launched my first, if you like, program. It was at the time something along the lines, the Abundance Mastermind. And I filled it up in a space of two weeks. It was effortless because it was full me, you see. So not just bringing the strategy side and, but also, and psychology side, but bringing into it the spiritual side, that which is also me. So
I think that sometimes we have this, when things it's not about things being easy, but when things get too difficult and you're just banging your head against the wall, there might be something missing. And
totally.
And then as soon as you find that something missing, then it's like, wow, now it's so easy. Or easier than it was before. You still got to do the sales, you still got to do the follow-up, do the marketing, but then people are actually responding and they want it, rather than banging your head against the wall and praying for people to say, please sign up with me because I got to pay my food bill tonight. So thank you for sharing.
Totally. Yes. And I think it's because, in my words, I often share with my clients, at any moment in a business, whether we like it or not, we have two modes of being at work, or two parts of mind, if you like. One of them is our programmed mind. Sometimes I call it ego, or some of us call it ego. Some of us call it even comfort zone, everything that we're used to. There is, however, this peculiar larger mind that potential, if you like, that we cannot see it or touch it with our hands, but we cannot say it doesn't exist because we can sense it. We certainly know that which we could be. So it's like our higher mind, our if you like, potential that is always whispering to us, do this, do that, allow, and that is all of us. So anytime we ask ourselves, okay, this is not working, how can I be fuller myself? As long as we're willing to get disconnected from ease, because it's usually not easy, right? So then things start to flow much better because we step fully into who we really are, or into our bigger self. That's how I see it. Yes.
Thank you for sharing. Now, what I want to know is, what are you doing right now that is working really well in your business? What are the things that, if you lift the veil behind Lenka's business,
Yes.
what is working well for you?
Sure. So funny, I just wrote an article yesterday. So since I came online, my business started to go really well, and very quickly I reached my first six figures, and I also was pregnant with the baby number 3. So I thought, right, now I'm fully booked with my high-end clients. I really earned this because,
Yeah, I've been working my ass off for this. Yeah.
but I'm about to have a baby. If I want to spend more time with the baby and, with my family and grow my business, I have to change something. And I tell you a single thing that helped me the most. And this is where actually the energetic selling method was born. Instead of continuing taking on one-on-one clients, I introduced a group mastermind, intimate group mastermind clients at the same fee, which for me at the time was, I had to overcome a bit of BS in my mind, right? Like, why would people pay 5 figures for a group program where that's what they pay me for my one-to-one, etc., etc. But once I got over it and realized that, what, I love intimate groups. They still get a little bit of one-to-one. They'll get same information because you repeat yourself, don't you?
Yeah,
Oftentimes,
yeah.
right? So anyway, I launched my first mastermind, and so it was my first high-level mastermind, a 5-figure mastermind, and that made a huge difference because not only I leveraged my time, big style. The clients continued to get extraordinary results. They were able to grow their businesses and benefit from exactly the same way as they would if they worked with me on one-to-one basis, with added benefit of intimate high-end community.
Yes.
So, but it took guts. It took guts. So that's, definitely one of the things that helped me.
What did you do for everyone who is listening right now that is saying, "Oh my God, a 6-figure group program? No, a 5-figure group program? No way! I don't know, it's too much." Or what? What did you do for yourself to overcome it?
Yes.
To overcome that internal struggle.
Happily. So, and this is really, we're going into what you ask about. I've never heard of energetic selling method, and the reason why you haven't heard of it, because I just kind of invented the word for it, right? So this is if you like, the process, and I see it as 4 quadrants that need to be worked on almost simultaneously to be able to make this leap. Yes. So one doesn't work without the other. So first and foremost, it's about obviously creating a fabulous offer. It's a group program, let's say, that delivers at least 10 times more value than you're asking for. So it's not about, let me just create something for 10 grand or 20 grand for the sake of creating something for 10, 20 grand. It's about, okay, how am I going to give this client, each client, 10 times or more what they pay for. So in my program, I know, so in my mastermind, what I help my clients to do is to really scale their businesses to multiple 6 figures and beyond. Yes. So just by that, obviously, if they're going to implement it, they're going to get their return on investment, right?
Absolutely.
But it's not always the case, especially in some different coaching niches. If you working in relationship or weight loss or I don't know what, so there is not always measurable that return on investment. So we need to look at really, what's the use value, not necessarily cash value. What is the use value of this? So for people that are, let's say, in relationship, that are really hungry and to be loved because they don't have it, it hurts. We each have some type of problem that we will do anything to really solve that problem, right? So So that it's that, how am I going to give them return on investment through how I structure the program, what I include, but also about the end result. So that's the first thing. We need to create a fabulous offer. Yes, doesn't have to be really time consuming, because some clients will say, all right, then, well, for then 10 grand, I'm going to give them a 48 session in a year, So it's not
I'm gonna coach you every day. I'm
that's
gonna
right.
give you an hour call every day.
That's right. It's not about that. It's about giving them what they need
Yeah.
to get results that they desire. Yes. But nonetheless, it needs to be quality. It needs to be there. So, and in that way, what we're doing also, we really are allowing ourselves to serve at our highest level, because, we've got this now. I primarily work with women, Simone, but maybe it's for gentlemen as well. I find that we chronically undervalue our services. And I did that as well. I used to do that as well. You're giving something that is gonna freaking change someone's life. You're giving all your energy into it. You carry your clients on your mind all the time because you care about them, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. So and then. However, what happens when we don't put enough value on that service? What if it's the fee is very much about energy exchange. So I always say the part of it is my fee are set to guarantee that you absolutely will follow the process. Because believe me, Simone, when the ladies sign up for my mastermind, they'll come on that call and they're like freaking sponges. They hang on every word and they're imponent. They're
It's like I
brilliant.
paid 10, 20 grand for
Yeah,
this. I better
I
I
better
better
you
soak
yes,
every single inch that I can.
absolutely,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely, and that's part of so you really are you gonna get better results? Of course, of course. So it's a win for everyone. So we allow ourselves to serve on a new level. So that was that. That was that. Secondly, as part of it, I had to sort out any money issue I had. In other words, we've got to really open ourselves to receive that amount of money. So this is the whole area of our relationship with money. So we are not being controlled by it, but rather control it. And so inevitably that we are in completely aligned with uh, stating what that fee is and easily receiving payment in full.
Yes.
Yes, so that is the second quadrant. And then now this one is interesting. This might be perhaps maybe a little new to your audience, well, partially, but then it's about calling in those next level clients to experience, right? So partially it's about marketing. So we've got to know who that person really is,
Yes.
where they are at their journey, what is their oh shit point, and talk to them, communicate to them. So that's partially that. But also what I find is that another important part of that is that we've got to be a mirror image of our next level client, which is sometimes not that easy. Because I don't know if you heard, I hear this all the time in my tribe. Well, I've got clients, they always tell me I've got to think about it, I've got to think about it, I've got to think about it, I've got to think about it. But then when I question them a little more, they tell me that they do everything last minute, or they big decisions, they postpone big decisions. So they're doing it. Therefore, of course, it's coming back at them in the business.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
I
Yes.
truly believe that our business is simply a mirror of what is happening inside of people
Yes.
that we are. So this is the harder part to actually have a look is where do I not mirror my ideal high-end client? So if I expect my clients to pay in full, do I pay in full? If I expect my clients to invest in themselves that much money to get extraordinary results, do I honor myself enough? So when it's something important to me in a business that I actually uh, am willing to bet on myself and invest that much money in something. So it's all this sort of thing. We've got to be matched to it. So it's personal development, I guess.
Absolutely.
So Yeah, that's the third one, and then the fourth one is fourth area is literally about just being able to sell from place of power, place of power. So being able to lovingly take the clients all the way from I'm interested in what you have to okay, let's do this. And if I could just give one advice there, which even I'm still practicing, and I still get it wrong sometimes, but I find that there are two things that bring the sales conversions over the roof. And that's number one, following the intuition. So you feel whether you're right match with the client or not. If not,
Yes.
what the hell? We all paid for it, right? When we don't work. And so follow the intuition, or also when you sometimes it's the right thing to say something, so you say it rather than thinking, I'm not gonna say it because it may come across this way or that way. So following intuition is a big one, and the second one being 100% honest.
Yes.
Honestly, I find that is the best sales tool on a planet. Does it help?
It helps massively. I mean, we asked the audience, does it help, guys? Like, I'm hearing yes. I'm hearing a lot of yeses. So definitely helps. I love the four quadrants. It make it very simple to understand. It make it easy to understand. And in particular, talking about following your intuition and your gut instinct. In fact, I remember I was closing one of our lifetime members. And our lifetime membership is £10,000 for a group program that we run. And I remember I spent time with him, and he was saying, "Oh, I don't have the money. Oh, I need to speak to my wife. Oh, I need to do this." I said, "Listen, you're going to work with us, whether you like it or not. Like, I can just feel it. So you can tell me no right now, but you're gonna say yes somehow." So he was like, "Oh, me, mom, I don't know." So sign the form, and then we'll figure it out. So he signed the form, and then we had a chat with his wife. Now, because that was the conversation. So actually, his wife ended up joining too, as well. And I remember, and it was something within me that was saying, is the right fit. I'm not going to let this person go because I know we're just meant to work together.
Yes, and you just said it. They're meant to work together. So this is exactly it. Thank you for saying that. This is exactly it, because how often it's so much easier not to listen to intuition, right? Listen to our ego instead. I don't want to come across this way or that way.
Absolutely. I don't want to follow up 10 times because people think I'm annoying and pushy. And then if they think that, then they will say, "You're annoying and pushy and you're annoying. Please stop following up." And then I'll stop following up.
Exactly. And this is another thing. In sales, you always, as you take your clients for this beautiful, it's an exploration, right? The sales conversation, right? So you, of course, calibrate. You calibrate and you ask them many questions. Does it make sense? Shall I continue? They can at any point opt out.
Exactly.
So at any point they can say, actually, no, this is definitely not for me, right? So, but if we don't have, so if they're interested, it's our duty to help them, to guide them to make the right decision, whether it's yes or no, but make the right decision for them. That's how I see it.
And also, when you talked about honesty, I think that honesty is crucial when you're selling, in part because people will honor you for that. If you feel honestly that you're saying, "No, actually, I don't think you're the right fit," or "I don't think this will benefit you," or "I don't think we're going to enjoy working together," or you know that it might be too much of a stretch for them financially, and you know that actually joining the program can be even put them in a worse situation when they started because they will have no other means to grow their business. I remember sometimes I turn down people and say, "No, actually, right now you're not fit for this. Just join this other one, or don't join me at all." And they came back year after and said, "I appreciated that moment. Now I'm ready." And then decided to come back. So did you ever have any experience when you turned down someone and then they came back, or honestly
absolutely.
played?
Absolutely. It always works out. As I said, they'll respect you more for it. And when we talk about honesty, there is something other in there as well. I recall a client not so long ago. And when I talked to her, it came obvious to me that the way she ran her sales conversations is from the place of proving herself. As I've got to prove that I'm a great coach here. If they like me, they're going to hire me. It's never going to work like that, because the client feels it, like, you're proving yourself. So when we shifted her saying, you're not here to prove anything to anyone. You're here to make an impact. So you follow your intuition. You're an excellent coach. So you're going to do the same during the self-conversation. You're going to be honest with them. And she literally got fully booked with her end clients, like, so quickly, because she came on each call, and when she felt like client is making themselves small, or they're doing this in their lives, she would say, let me tell you, it's my duty to tell you, you're making yourself, if you continue like this is what's going to happen, dude. She would blatantly tell them how they're hurting themselves by staying where they are. Like, so it completely changed dynamic, and clients were thanking her for it. Not only thanking her for it, they were signing up for her coaching, because that's selling from place of power and honesty.
And that's what people are looking for, right? That's why they sign up with a coach. Because they're looking for someone who is a leader, who can tell them, who can call them on their bullshit, who can tell them where they're going right, where they're going wrong, who can be strong. That's what they're looking for. Someone who can say, can you handle me?
Yes, absolutely.
And if you give up and you don't care enough by not following up or by not being resilient during that conversation, then the message that you're sending is, I don't care enough about you, or I cannot handle you.
Yeah. I care more about my ego.
Thank you. And that's why selling in this way is very powerful. I absolutely loved every single minute of this interview, because there is a lot to learn from your experiences in business, from the way you run your business, also from the challenges that you had while stepping into this position of power and leadership, and I saw the tip of the iceberg, which was the event that you were running. Was that at the Waldorf?
Waldorf Astoria, yes.
It was beautiful. That's this gorgeous venue, and the event was one of the most beautiful events I've ever seen, even if I was there for an afternoon. It was brilliant. So that shows that what you do works. That shows that you're able, by being yourself, create a tribe of people that are loving you, that you're able to set goals that you're like, I don't know if I can do this, but somehow making it happen.
I'll do it.
All right.
I'll do it anyway.
Absolutely. So, Lenka, if people want to know more about how they can learn more about this new way of selling, if they can know more about working with you, where they can find you.
Sure. Well, depends when this interview will go live, but I'm going to run in a couple of weeks a challenge that is around creating and selling 10K plus offerings that your ideal clients will love. So I'm going to do it's going to be a 4 days where we'll break down each of these aspects of energetic selling method and go to much more depth. So, those that take the challenge can apply it. So I think perhaps we can drop a link for that. Would that help? Yes. And other than that, you can find me on Facebook. I've got this group, Freaking Amazing Women. So I'm very active there, that I share a lot of stuff. And yes, well.
Perfect. So make sure they join the challenge. And will there be a recording? So if someone cannot attend the challenge live,
absolutely, yes. If it's later, they can surely, I'll turn challenges on demand, so they can take it, sign up.
So you can join the challenge at any time. The link is in the show notes, so make sure that you click the link in the show notes. Join her Facebook group. Of course, if you are a woman, I don't think that men.
We can sleep in, man. Yeah, we can sleep.
If you want to be there.
We do have men. They're not as active, but we do have men in a group.
Okay, so if you're a man and you want to be in the Freaking Amazing Women group, and make sure that you join there, because I've been fighting. I was asking with my wife, I call this women's group, and I cannot be in there because I feel like I'm a man, and then I don't want to become like the stalker. It's like someone say, "Who's the man doing in this group?" And I felt, Uh, so make sure that you join the group and also sign up for the challenge. Thank you very much, Lenka. It's been an absolute pleasure having this interview. I had a great time.
Thank you so much, Simone. Thank you, everyone.
Fantastic. And thank you very much for listening or watching. If you're watching, thank you for watching. If you're listening, thank you for listening. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button right now. I know it's calling you. It's there. It's juicy, sexy. So touch that subscribe button right now, and also leave us a 5-star review. If you like the work that we do, it will mean a lot to us, because it will mean that we can more people will be able to see the work that we do, will be able to hear these amazing people like Lenka that we have on our show. And also, see you next episode. Make sure that you keep in touch for next episode, and remember that together we grow exponentially. See you next time. Ciao.
Ciao.